Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Strong hand. Bitcoin is the world reserve cryptocurrency, and we talked about that tonight in Beer Sheva here in Israel at the Meetup, which was freaking awesome, dudes. First off, check out the notes section below for all the links that pertain to this video, for discount codes on t-shirts from Crypto Graffiti, and get your Trezor at cryptohwwallet.com. All right, so why don't we have a straight up report from the Meetup, the Bitcoin Meetup I was at just now in Beer Sheva, right near the university. There were a lot of younger people, but there were some people in their 30s and older than that also there. I'd say there were about 30, mostly guys, who showed up, and they said, "Hey, Adam, speak." So I gave a little speech. I didn't know I was going to give a speech, but it was great. An article just came out in a major Israeli newspaper, and I think it got a lot of people excited. I don't know if he brought people to this event, but I heard tonight at the Tel Aviv Bitcoin Embassy, it was quite crowded. And it's because when you have a major newspaper cover a story like that, it gets people excited. They see the prices going up. But tonight, well, it's night here in Israel where you are in the United States. Most likely it's the middle of the day if you're there, back home in Baltimore, where I will be soon again. But I spoke to so many people tonight, and some of the guys, well, first of all, there were like 2 women there, so it maintained the 5% or so women ratio in the Bitcoin land that we're so used to. The natural ratio so far, maybe a little increase. I'm not trying to increase it. Whoever wants to come in, come in. Doesn't matter what sex, race, creed, religion you are. So there were guys who were talking about trading. There were questions about Ethereum. There were questions about ICOs. So, but then there were just the people who were just into Bitcoin totally. They didn't know, but they didn't know Ethereum. But there were a lot of blockchain-based questions. There were some smart people here. There were some experienced people, but there were newbies also. And there was an excitement, though. There really is an excitement. So now in Beer Sheva and in Tel Aviv, I've gotten a glimpse of the community. And this community is growing. Again, Beer Sheva is not the biggest city in Israel. It's not the second biggest city in Israel. So it's really encouraging when in a big city in Israel, but not one of the top ones that you've heard of before, that this many people into Bitcoin, want to learn about Bitcoin, come to an event on a Sunday night about Bitcoin. There is a vibe here in Israel that I get in few other countries, in no other countries actually, other than the United States, I guess, that people really know about this and want to get into it. It's already a technologically oriented country, so it's not a surprise. But I mean, again, you hear about, everyone always talks about Cyprus, how Cyprus had that event and everyone bought Bitcoin. When I was in Cyprus, and again, I was in Paphos, which is not the biggest city, but there was not one glimpse of anything Bitcoin related there. And I'm not dissing Cyprus, but I'm saying there is excitement here in Israel, and I'm looking forward to going to Korea. Now, I'm going to meet a lot of Bitcoin people in Korea, so I'd like to compare it to Israel, but again, Israel is the only place on earth where I've worn a Bitcoin shirt on the street, and this was back in May, and someone goes, "Bitcoin," when they see my shirt. And again, I can tell that the interest in Israel has increased in incredible amounts since I was here in May in Bitcoin. So again, I taught people about the art of the hold. People here want to do things with their Bitcoin also, so you got to. But someone told me a really interesting story about an Israeli guy, and I want to get this guy on the show if he likes to be on the show. He is a security expert, and he is in the Congo, I guess in the Democratic Republic of the DRC. And many of you may remember Jayant Bandari gave us a report of what really goes on in the Congo, which is some scary stuff. So the Congo is a vicious place, very dangerous. Well, this Israeli security expert, he works on the border one of the borders, and I'm not going to say which border. I was told which border, but I don't want to, just in case he wants to go be on the show, I don't want to give too much information about the guy. Anyway, it's an incredibly dangerous job. It involves, there's a lot of money exchanged on the border through, they try to tax people coming in. And it's a very dangerous country to begin with. So this guy is there to guard people. I mean, so he's a pretty hardcore security guy. The point is he's living in the Congo, all right? He's living there because this is his job. He gets paid a lot of money to work there, but he uses Bitcoin there for transactions. And I'm not sure for what else. Again, this is a secondhand story. I want to get this guy on the show to see if like expats there who are involved in security or maybe other things too, how they're using Bitcoin. Bitcoin is being used in the freaking Congo of all places. And so this is something I learned from tonight and something I never thought I would hear about in Israel. But hey, let's get this guy on the show. I'm working on that. And I linked to the Facebook group, the Beer Sheva Bitcoin Facebook group, so you can check it out yourself. They actually posted a couple pictures from tonight. And oh yeah, one thing they didn't know about crypto dividends very much here. And what I'm learning is that people who are new, it's not a shock that you don't know about this aspect of Bitcoin, this incredibly lucrative aspect of Bitcoin. Just by being a holder, you're getting these Bitcoins. And so it's kind of hard to explain to people when you're talking about these forks and they don't know a fork from anything. But again, I wish you all should consider yourself very lucky that you know what a crypto dividend is, that you know how to handle it, and that you know how to get your crypto dividend from your Bitcoin. The people with knowledge are going to get richer because of this, and the rich are going to get richer because of this. So you should be happy you know what these things are. I hope more people all over the world find out what crypto dividends are, what Bitcoin crypto dividends are, because they'll be more likely to hold their Bitcoin instead of doing insane things with their Bitcoin, like buying various ICOs. And again, people were asking about ICOs tonight. There definitely were people who wanted to know about that because they've heard about everything. They've heard about and they asked me about some altcoins. I don't even remember which one. They didn't ask about Zcash, and usually that's a topic of conversation here in Israel. And people thought it was very funny. I was talking to some of the guys afterwards. I mean, it was just a great time. About how guys who get married, they can use Bitcoin for divorce insurance, basically having a stash of Bitcoin on the side that their wife doesn't know about. And if their wife divorces them, well, then she won't be able to take the Bitcoin, even if she knew about it. And they were laughing and laughing. They're like, you know what? That is a great use case for Bitcoin, divorce insurance. And I realized it was actually the first time I ever talked about it with anyone in person. I've actually mentioned it on this channel before, but I've never brought it up to anyone that I've met on the street. I mean, any of my friends or anyone who knows about Bitcoin that I've happened to encounter, in Australia or wherever. So that was interesting. Hey, pound that like button, people, if you'd like that. I haven't said pound that like button yet. All right. So remember, check out the notes section below because there's an action item down there to retweet a tweet by a guy who's trying to get Bcash onto some exchanges, because we need these exchanges picking up these crypto dividends, and this is a great way to start. We obviously know about a lot more crypto dividends than we did 3 days ago, and exchanges are going to have to be pressured over social media, over Twitter, to just to list these crypto dividends, and it will help add value to them, and for those of us who want to dump our crypto dividends, and it will just make the entire concept more legit. And they're going to have to get used to it that Bitcoin is going to keep on forking. It's going to be fueled by Asia. We're going to get to that in a second. Remember to also check out the SoundCloud link below to the World Crypto Network. All their podcasts, which includes this very show here, you can listen to it at the soundcloud.com/worldcryptonet. It is linked to below. Andy Hoffman's cryptogoldcentral.com/blog is also linked to below. I'd like to remind everybody of that because he really sums up the news items of the day, the smart news items of the day, in really concise pieces. They're not long. So if you still are a reader, and I know there are readers out there still, I hope you guys still read. I know there are 20%ers out there who still read. Check out Andy's blog, cryptogoldcentral.com. He does a really good way. He pumps, I mean, he not pumps, he produces about 7 a day, and they're short and they inform you. They're good. They're some people will think they're better than watching my video because he gets straight to the point. And you'll hear sometimes, who knows what Adam talks about. It's not straight to the point all the time. All right, so let's talk about, there's a BGold link I linked to below. And it's about the pre-mine. They totally explain what the pre-mine was and get rid of some of the rumors that are still floating around. I mean, the overreaction to that, will it ever end? People just... Anyway, you check out the link yourself. You decide. You decide. Remember, follow me on Twitter at TechBalt, TechBalt. Twitter is on fire when it comes to cryptocurrency, when it comes to Bitcoin, and my Twitter following is just growing and growing and growing. It's really exciting. And again, if you follow me there, you get the news at any moment that you want it. I mean, it's coming out all the time. You never know. You don't have to wait for these videos. Who knows when I'm even doing these videos? By the way, my Monday video is going to be really early. Like if you're on the East Coast, it's going to be like at 3 in the morning or something like that, because I'm getting out of Israel tomorrow. I got to go to the airport and all sorts of stuff eventually tomorrow. I've got to leave the Airbnb. We won't go into those details, but so there's going to be another video very soon in a few hours, but it's going to be on a different day officially. Okay. So yeah, if you have a question, you can do the super chat. I always appreciate that, people. And you can always email me at adam@tresorhelp.com for your crypto consultation, et cetera, et cetera. We can talk about the rates and all that good stuff. All right. Again, and remember to pound that like button, subscribe to this channel, and do check out the link section below and follow me on Twitter. So B Diamond Futures. We talked about the B Diamond crypto dividend that is straight up coming out of China. And I just wonder how many people that are, and they have there's an exchange where you can check out the futures. They're already selling futures for B Diamond, which is going to come out around Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving, it's going to be interesting to see how this actually works. But B Diamond is being forked from Bitcoin at a 10-to-1 ratio. So for every Bitcoin you get 10 of these things, and the 0.004 that Bitcoin that the futures market is listing B Diamond for, it makes me wonder if the people do not know about the 10-to-1 ratio, because 0.4% of a Bitcoin seems like a pretty all right price for someone to pay for one of these crypto dividends. Okay, there's going to be a lot of them, but one of these altcoins, whatever you want to call it, but 4%. But I'm telling you, it translates to 4% here. It's a 4% reward for those of us with 1 Bitcoin, because we're getting 10 of these things. So I don't know if people understand the numbers behind this that are bidding this up to one of them being worth 0.4%, which translates to 4% of a Bitcoin when you take into account we're getting 10 of them. All right, I hope I didn't butcher that too much. Who knows what they know and they don't know? All I know is that I hope that ratio, or that they're willing to pay that much for a while, so that once we figure all this out, how to dump this stuff, I can get 4%. Okay, so Bitcoin. Here's another thing. The Bitcoin futures Ledger X. They're talking about the number $10,000 there. And I linked to an article, the CoinDesk article, first long-term Ledger X Bitcoin options peg price to $10,000. Okay, I don't care about the article per se. I just think, again, that $10,000 number, that magical number, it is destiny. They're building they're building a very important aspect of what they're doing around that, the option. So, but again, the number keeps coming up. and around the year 2018, I think we can, it seems like destiny. Now, afterwards, what happens, I don't know. But for 2018, or maybe even before, that might be a destiny. I mean, it's amazing. We, at the end of last year, 2016, we're like, yes, let's get back to 1,000. Let's get back to 1,000. And now we're talking about something that's 10 times that amount. Everything has changed so much. And all of us who were in before 2017, we all should feel really happy now, okay? Especially if you're a holder, you should feel really happy now. All right, so Coinbase, I started thinking about how Coinbase is going to give everyone, unfortunately, keeps their Bitcoin at Coinbase. They're going to get their Bcash at the start of 2018, and how this will just be a honeypot for these, because the Bcash that everyone gets tracked to their name thanks to Coinbase. If you had moved your Bitcoin off of the exchange, off of Coinbase, and you got your Bcash just through your own means through Trezor, then that's not as easy for the authorities to figure out who has the Bcash. But here, Coinbase has a huge honeypot of Bcash holders, and it's going to be a starting point for the crypto dividend tax policy. The Coinbase will give over the information of, who owns what. That's just, I mean, that's what you sign up for. They might say they're not, but the tax authorities are going to be, this might be the spark. They'll be like, well, okay, we've got X amount of people that got this crypto dividend for free. Let's figure out how we'll follow them around now, know what they're doing. We're going to set a policy. If they don't follow it, these will be the examples that we'll do. So this very much well could be by the time we get to, and again, it is good at least that it'll be for 2018 taxes if they take this approach. So by 2019, all those people who are asking like, oh, what's the tax policy for crypto dividends? Well, you'll be able to pay your taxes properly based on this, perhaps. So here, if any government officials are listening, here, this is your time to set the precedent so you can clear it up with everyone. I think it's a pretty simple. I think it's simple. You get something for, at least in the again, I'm talking United States here. You get something for free, and then eventually, whenever you sell it for cash, you can turn it into Bitcoin if you want to. But then when you finally sell it for cash, for dollars, it's the difference between the value then and zero. That's your revenue there, and they tax you on that revenue. I think that's a pretty simple way of doing things. But they have not stated their crypto dividend policy yet, and people do have questions like, well, if I traded it to a Bitcoin, is that when the taxable event happens? I don't know if they're going to go with that. But hey, man, they're going to have plenty of examples to pull from. So I know I'm not making the people who have their Bcash stuck on Coinbase very happy with this, but you're going to have to think about that. This might be the start right now for their policy, the precedent. All right, again, I link to the cryptomon.co page, which lists every fork that is on that every Bitcoin fork that exists, every crypto dividend. I actually got in touch with the guy and I sent him the information about B Diamond. So hey, man, I'm helping out. So B Diamond shows that Asia may pump this up for all of us, based on the futures market at least, and that just basically because of the name Bitcoin is involved, they're like blindly getting into this stuff. Again, they might just be blind traders who don't get that there's a 10-to-1 ratio here too, and that's unfortunate for them if they're making this mistake. The Chinese, the Asians, whoever out there, it's clear they're going to keep on creating these altcoins this way because they've seen what happened with B Gold, that you can make money off this. You can make money off it. Why not? People are getting it for free, but then there are people who are buying it too, and it's a unique way to distribute it. So also, B Diamond tried to say that they're going to be more private than Bitcoin. Okay, great. I'll believe it when I say. Everyone's going to have a little bit of a gimmick here. And it will be interesting to see if this happened around Thanksgiving here, well, in America. There's also a rumor about something called Bitcoin Century. It appears that originally it was supposed to be a Bcash crypto dividend. I can't find anything new about it. There was an article that just mentioned this Bitcoin Century. Hey, if you know about Bitcoin Century, or B Century, we're going to call it from now on. If it's really, it looks like it's coming out of China also. Tell me about it. The more that we can get listed on that whatever that guy's site is, Cryptomon's site, the better. And yeah, and it's great that he is listing them all there, because it's better than me just doing it verbally every single day. I mean, I can keep track of them in my head, but I don't expect everyone to keep track of them in their head and just look. They got to go to a place where they can actually see them all there. So that's good for that dude. And again, something about these crypto dividends that don't get caught up in this, but I think they're going to get caught up with over there, because people seem to just pile into things over there in Asia. And I'll see for myself, and I'm going to ask around when I'm in South Korea at the end of the month, at the beginning of December. Newbies will want to get in on the ground level of what they're going to be told is like the Chinese Bitcoin or the next big thing. And they're going to be convinced into doing. So they're going to actually buy these things. Well, we're going to get them for free. And we have been through this next big thing before, and we know that, as friendly of forks some of these crypto dividends might be, they might be the friendliest things in the world, okay? But they're not going to be the next big thing. They're going to be just some altcoins with some different features that were forked off of Bitcoin, and so they're not worth it to really buy. But they're worth it to sell, I will tell you that. So these people are they're going to fuel this for us. For the holders here. So again, don't buy these things. Don't get into don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Yeah, as someone once said back in the classic rap days. I don't know who said that. But anyway, these aren't going to be the Chinese Bitcoin. These aren't going to be the next big things. But hey, I can't help it that the 80% across the Pacific are clearly going to buy into this stuff and already are on that futures market. So all I hope is we find very safe ways of splitting these coins and selling these coins. So if you are an exchange, please consider this stuff. Help us out here. Help the holders out here. We want to dump this so our friends in the Pacific can buy this stuff. So yeah, Andy Hoffman actually brought up an interesting point too. He thought, earlier in the day, by the way, we hit an all-time high while I was speaking. I mean, Bitcoin's around about $8,100 now, but earlier in the day it was around $7,800, and Andy saw this futures market over there for the B diamond, and he thought, hey, more and more people are going to find out about it, probably in Asia. They might try to buy Bitcoin so they get this thing for free, and it might help pump the price. Now, I'm not saying that happened, and a lot of you are saying, who the heck has heard of this B diamond thing? Well, we don't know. Maybe more people have heard about it in Asia. I have not. I did check the Bitcoin exchanges, and it doesn't seem like the pump of Bitcoin is coming from Asia, but you don't know. All of a sudden, B diamond might be the next biggest thing in Asia for all the wrong reasons, but it might, and that might help pump the price of Bitcoin. So I like the thought process that Andy is going through there. And again, check out his cryptogoldcentral.com. And also, I think that we're talking China again, and we're talking Asia. The 8 is a lucky number over there. So I would not be shocked if we start to get on a roll here with this 8,100 all-time high, that they pump it up. That people over there are like, oh, in dollar terms, it's going to be $8,888 soon. It could pump up quick to $8,888 once it gets to $8,500 or something like that. And I don't know when all these things are going to happen. It's funny also, and I will conclude with this. Pound that like button, people. I will be in the chat soon enough to talk to you, but I'd like to conclude. But one of the things that people ask me all the time in the chat or through emails is like, what do you think the price is going to be in 2018? What do you think the price is going to be by 2020? I was teaching about the halving tonight. too also. I was up. Some people did not know about the halving, and that is an important thing to know about. So people were like, well, if 2020 is so important, Adam, what is the price going to be in 2020? So everyone around the entire world, whether you're talking to them on the internet, in person, they want you to say a number. They just want it. They want it. I can't say a number. I'm not doing a clickbait. This is not a clickbait show here. This is real information. So I'm Adam, but I'm flattered that people think I know enough to give them a number of what it's going to exactly be in May of 2020. And I can't do that. No one can really tell you how much it's going to be worth. They can tell you that it's going to be worth more. So pound that like button. Golden hold, have a strong hand today too when it's going up, because it's tempted to sell, to buy back for lower, and play all these games. Don't do that. I'm Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, check out the notes section below. I'll have a video soon enough in the morning in Israel or wherever I am. Bye-bye.